Alright, so, went to go, get my chair stuck, went to go see John Cho's latest movie, Searching, and I've been looking forward to this, because it's like, one, I like to see John Cho's, like, range and everything, and he does a really good job in this movie. Two, the concept of the movie, you know, is like found footage-y, you know, and then it has like that, like, the Unfriended kind of feel to it, you know, where it's just like screen capture your desktop kind of shit. I'll go into spoilers a little bit later, but just no spoilers. I actually enjoyed this movie a lot. Like, the audience I was with, I was a little worried that they were going to be, like, talking throughout the whole thing because they were much younger, and I'm not having it. No, like, everyone seemed to enjoy it, and it went, like, moments, you know, like, parts where, you know, like, parts of the movie where the audience is supposed to react, like, everyone, you know, reacted, you know, like, I had one of those kind of moments, you know, like, that might be the thumbnail. Not as much as Hereditary, because no one was fucking decapitated, Jesus Christ. Where I was just like, oh, shit! What? Oh, I'm like, yes, paid for my lift. I was like, who's texting me? Everyone should be at work, unlike me. Donate about Patreon. I'm still unemployed. So anyway, I'm just, I'm so itchy. I wonder if you could see my leg. Look at all that. That's, get that calamine lotion going on. Went outside to, like, photograph one of my latest finished costume items, and just out there for a couple minutes, and just, I looked down at one point, and there was like 5 of them on my leg, like mosquitoes, and I was like, you know, I'm not meant to be an outdoor kid. That's why I go to the movie theater all the time. But anyway, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like, if you want to check it out, I would say definitely check it out, and like, the, you know, I was gonna say, like, yeah, it has a really good a good feeling. When you see it in the theater, obviously, you know, you're completely, like, you know, immersed in it. But of course, I bet, like, if you're watching it, like, on your computer or something, of course, because it's, like, your phone or whatever, you got that whole screen feel to it. Either way, yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed it. Like I said, John Cho did a good job. The idea of the story, not to go into spoilers, but, like, okay, like I said, in the trailer, you're like, okay, her daughter goes missing, he has to figure out where she is, you know, he's like, oh, I don't know her, yada yada yada, and then it's him pretty much, like, going down a spiral, in a sense, to, like, look for the kid. Okay, but then, like, again, I'm not giving away spoilers, but then there's, like, parts where you're like, oh, okay, ooh, but then you're like, what? Like, there's like a kind of moment, and then there's a what kind of thing towards the end. But yeah, like, I'm gonna go into spoilers in a second, but yeah, if you want to go see it, check it out. If you don't want spoilers, just, you know, just stop right now and come back after you see it. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, spoilers. So, like I said, I really enjoyed it. Like, the idea of kind of following, like, the whole, you know, like, his desktop thing, and it's a little bit more than that. It's not just, like, again, it's not like how in Unfriended, where it's just stagnant, it's just that screen, you know what I mean? It's just, you know, you just hear that, like, constantly, click, oh no, my Spotify turned on, all that shit. And because it is online, there's obviously a lot of, like, things that were used, like, Windows and, like, Mac were both, like, you know, represented in this, whatchamacallit, like, a bunch of websites like YouTube, Facebook, Ucast, fucking ABC7, you know, like, a lot of, like, well-known websites were used. Tumblr. I was a little worried when he went on Tumblr. I was like, oh god, I was like, are they gonna make the joke that there's a shit ton of porn that just pops up? But they did it, because he went on, like, his daughter's page. Oh, Twitter and all that stuff. God, it's fucking, sorry, I'm still, it's so itchy. But yeah, so, whatchamacallit? Oh, it's not raining anymore. It's fucking hot in here. But yeah, so, train of thought, my itchiness, yeah. so you like I said, it's not just stagnant. It's not just, like, here's the screen and that's it. Like, they zoom in on parts. Like, so, like, this whole frame right here, that's the whole screen. But they also zoom into, like, when it's FaceTiming, it's like the FaceTiming thing of the daughter, but then he's down here in the corner. It's just like, they'll go with, like, they'll do a wide shot where the daughter, then they'll do a close shot of his little, like, screen, like, his little box, and then it'll be like, so it's not like Unfriended where someone just said, like, okay, hey, I got Bandicam working, I'm gonna record this, and here's the script, guys, go. It wasn't like that kind of thing where, like, this movie was filmed, in a day kind of shit. Like, this had a lot, to go with it. And with the movie, it starts off, with the lovely Windows XP, and it's like the dad, he's creating, like, an account for his daughter, like, on the Windows XP, then it's, like, little things like, oh, this is her, Gmail account, and, oh, she's signing up for Facebook, like, watching, like, as she's growing up, and you see her, like, first day of, first grade or kindergarten, and she's just, like, upset, because, kids don't want to, like, go to school and all that shit. So, it's, like, really quick kind of montagey where you're learning about the family, you learn about how the mother gets sick and, ends up, gets sick, and then ends up being in remission, and then she relapses, and then she ends up passing away, and so now it's just him and the daughter, and then it's kind of like, I guess you would say modern time, like current time and all that stuff. So, and it's great because like, they do it, like I said, they do it so well where, like, his webcam will be on because he's, like, FaceTiming, so you kind of get a shot of him, so it's not just, like, you hear him in the background freaking out, there'll still be, like, his FaceTime thing, where he's, like, you see in the commercial where he's in the bag, he's on the phone, he's punching the wall kind of shit, and it's like, so you get that. You also get where, again, on the computer, he's like, okay, I got Facebook open, I got YouTube open, I got XYZ, all this stuff open up to, like, figure things out. He's got his little spreadsheet to figure out, like, if or whatever his daughter has friends or all that stuff. And then when they show anything exterior from the computer, it's news footage, so it's not like, okay, suddenly we're doing sweeping pan shots. If it is a helicopter shot, it's because it's from the news helicopter, and there's always, like, the reporters, and they're kind of like, this just in, farts are funny, that kind of stuff. So again, it's very interesting, and again, when they do show websites, news clips, all that stuff, again, it's not just stagnant, they end up going, like, a little close here and there and yada yada, again, just so it's not so boring. And of course, unlike Unfriended was just really dumb, and all that stuff. And part of me was kind of tempted to do my review, kind of like how I did my Unfriended one, which was, like, over Skype, and then do this one like this and just start clicking around. But I was like, I don't need to gimmick up my review on this. I'll just talk about it, But, like I said, we're into spoilers, so, you see in the trailer, the daughter, you see, like, he goes through, like, her accounts and all that stuff. And I also like that, so he's going through, like, on his computer, but then it's like, oh, she left her laptop at home. So he, because all her accounts are private, like, her Twitter's private, her Facebook is private, so he's like, trying to, or Instagram's private, so then he finds that she's still has her laptop at home, opens it, and it's like, her stuff's not, like, auto-logged in, so he has to, like, log in, and you see, like, the quick kind of, like, little montagey thing of him being like, okay, forgot password, okay, God, how do I sign on to her Gmail? Oh, it sends a thing to, okay, then he has to go on back to his wife's, like, Windows XP account to go on the, like, the Yahoo account, all that stuff. And then there was, like, the little sad thing when they open up the Windows XP, and it was like, you haven't run Norton in 600 something days, so it's been about 2 years since she's passed. You have an idea. So again, you see that whole like, oh, I forgot password, create new passwords, blah blah blah, and then he's again figuring out her Facebook and people she knows, and that's how he's like figure out to like talk to people like, hey, when did you last speak to her? And that's when you get the girl that's like, I just want to get into Berkeley, like you're not really friends, like that kind of stuff. And then again you go on her Tumblr, you look at her Instagram. Like I don't really think they show much of her Twitter, but I don't think they're like oh, so he's able to access her Bank of America account and sees that like every time he gives her like $100 for the piano stuff, that she just deposits it straight into her account. Because again, you see that in the trailer where the lady's like, oh no, she like canceled piano 6 months ago and all that stuff. And you see her, there's one part where she's either the UCAS or whatever thing, but she says like, oh, like I stopped going to piano, like my dad wouldn't understand. And already there I had a feeling it's probably because like one, she lost her mom, so it's like no real motivation to like continue to play, like like I'll go to school, but like this is more of an extracurricular, so I don't really feel to do it. I'm feeling like shit because I lost my mom, kind of thing. And like you later find out that of course she she stopped going to her piano lessons because like their uncle had said like, well, every time she looked at a piano, yada yada, reminded her of her mother, which I kind of guessed anyway, because so much like pictures and video footage is like the mom like teaching her and all that stuff. So of course, but then so you look at the account and then like she has more money in there than I do. I looked at it and I was like, oh god, anyway, so she has like, especially for a teenager, she has a lot of money. And then you see that she like sent over like, and then they go through a friggin' Venmo, and then she had like transferred like $2,500 to someone in Venmo. That account is deactivated, and he's trying to figure all this stuff out. So it's like, and so Deborah Messing is the woman assigned to his case, and it was like, hey, judging from the fact that, she was kind of a loner and she didn't really tell you a lot of blah, blah, blah stuff, and she took out this amount of money, and, we saw, security cam footage of her, like, gassing up her car and, going somewhere. It's like, the Deborah Messing's like, we can only conclude that she ran away. Like, and then of course John Cho is like, oh my god, my kid ran away, it's my fault, of course, continuing down the spiral kind of thing. And then like, all the stuff of like, okay, where's the girl, she's missing. And of course then they show like how the internet could be the internet. So you go, oh, Twitter, they show the hashtag like find Margot, so you get like a lot of the news and police accounts are like, find Marco, da 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 da. And then you got people like memeing it, with a shot of him, and it's like Father of the Year. People are like, the hashtag Dad did it, all that stuff. And it's like Facebook, posts, or people are like, the one kid that you see in the commercial, he has the one where he's like smoking the hookah, and it's like, oh, she's with me, da da da. And it's like, and he confronts the kid at the movie theater, because some people, they overshare on the internet, so you kind of give away your position. And so that's where he like gets in the fight with the kid. And then it's like, because people have cell phones, so it's recorded that he like beat up the kid, and it's like, you broke his jaw, and oh my god, and that's in the trailer. But so it's all this stuff where it's like, you're trying to figure out like what happened, and I'm watching it like, I'm in this, like I am immersed in this. There's actually one part where like I got taken out of the movie a little, and it's not the movie's fault, because I'm sitting there and I'm in it, and like I said, everyone in the theater is quiet and everyone's behaving, and suddenly my brain just went, hey, you didn't put your phone on vibrate. And I was like, oh shit. And it's like intense shit happening, all that stuff, and I just like grabbed my phone and I was like, oh, vibrate shit. You know, ever since I, stopped working, what's the point of having it, on vibrate? Because it's not like I'm gonna have like a supervisor walk in and get mad that I have a phone going off anyway. So, anyway, so I was like, oh shit, and then back in the movie. But yeah, so you're wondering like what happened? What happened? Then this thing comes out that, like, this dude, like, posted online that he killed her. He's like, yeah, I told her, he's like, I'm sorry I did all those things to her, and she said stop, but I kept going, and I'm sorry, and blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, the dude ends up, like, posting online, like, an apology confession thing, but then, whatchamacallit, then ends up killing himself. Like, I'm too guilt-ridden, bang, boom. And so, the movie's coming to an end where you're like, if it's, you're watching it, you feel terrible, you're like, oh my god, like, his daughter's dead, and probably, like, raped and murdered, like, and all that stuff. And, there's this website that, is trying to cash in on his grief by being like, hey, we can, like, live stream the memorial service for people to watch if you like. And he's like, and this is before, that thing came out, so he's like, she's not dead, all that stuff. But then he ends up being like, yeah, I'll use your service, all that stuff. And then, whatchamacallit, yeah, so, I just lost my train of thought. But yeah, so you're watching it, it's pretty much concluding, you're like, okay, the girl's dead, they're having this memorial service, and that's gonna be the end of the movie. And as the movie progresses on, I like how they just, like, what they did with the makeup for Deborah Messing, because she shows up, like, okay, I'm ready to work, I, probably did a little bit of mascara, just a little bit of lip, kind of stuff, maybe a little under eye cream kind of shit. But as the movie progressed, because she's working hard on this, and then John Cho's calling her at like 2, 3 in the morning, and so there's shots of her where she's got under her eyes, and it's like when they discover her, so they end up when they discover her car and all that shit, and like Deborah Messing, it's like 8 in the morning, and she's on camera, and she's just like, like tired, bags and all that stuff. And like I said, further into the movie, she's just like looking more and more just fucking tired, obviously because she's helped leading an investigation. So yeah, whatchamacallit, so the movie is like coming to an end, and you're like, okay, well, the memorial service streaming thing is like, hey, can you, like, do you want to upload more pictures so people can then see, or videos or something, like, of your kid? So he's, like, on there, and he's just, like, dragging and dropping these photos. He ends up deleting, like, one video where it's, like, it's his birthday or Father's Day or something, and it's, like, the daughter gives, like, him a gift, and it's, the drawing says, like, best dad ever, so he deletes it. Because, like, one, he doesn't feel that way, and two, like, when the internet did the whole, like, Father of the Year kind of bullshit to him, like, he's like, nah, click, done. So, once he, like, uploads everything, and then, like, websites are always using stock photos and shit, and then there's, like, a stock photo girl holding, like, some flowers, and it's, like, a message like, thank you for blah, blah. And the moment it does that, and the audience, and even I was like, oh, like that, the audience is like, and I was just like, oh, because there's this whole thing, where she's on that UCAS website, and there's this account called Fish and Chips that's been, like, talking to her, and it's got, like, this kind of ginger girl on there, and Deborah Messing is like, no, I can assure you that girl, like, she, like, she was at her job, she has an alibi, da-da-da. But then, like, stock photo girl is the same girl in UCAS girl, like, what the fuck? And so then it's like, so then, of course, John Cho, like, immediately is like, he has, like, the two pictures next to each other. It's the same, like, ginger girl. And he looks up, notices, like, she's a stock photo model, and all that stuff, and he's like, what the fuck, something is wrong. He's trying to contact, Deborah Messing and all that stuff, and it's like, oh my god. And then it's like, all this shit goes down, and so it's like, you're thinking to yourself, okay, so something is wrong because, like, you know, the guy who confessed and everything was like, oh, I threw away her luggage. And he's like, well, where's the luggage? He's like, something doesn't add up. He's like, okay, I'm having closure, but something doesn't add up. So then finally, like, when the movie you're thinking is gonna end, but then it kind of goes, hold on a second, you know, and you find out that the whole time it was actually Deborah Messing's son who did it, and she fucking covered it up pretty much and took the blame for it. You're just like, oh shit, like the moment you find out, like, this bitch who's been leading it was involved in all that shit, and you're watching like, oh, like, you know, like the last 5-10 minutes you were like, what, you know? And then, like, I'm glad the movie has a happy ending where they were able to find the daughter and everything, because they were saying how, like, because Deborah Messing, you see the live stream of the memorial service, you see the cops come to pick up Deborah Messing, and then it cuts off into the interrogation video, like the police station thing, and she's talking, Deborah Messing's talking, all that stuff, and they're like, well, where's the daughter? And Deborah Messing's like, well, it's been 5 days, you know, like, it's been 5 days, she's dead. And then you see, like, the helicopter footage of, like, John Cho, you know, like, whatchamacallit, like John Cho in a car, and then there's police escort and helicopter footage, and of course he was emailed like Deborah Messing's confession, and she's like, well, you know, like, it's been, well, like 5 days, so she's definitely dead without food or water. And then it's like, well, you know, it's actually 2 days because it rained on Monday, because the whole time her being missing and all that stuff, it was about like a week or two, like an intense, you know, like short amount of time. And so it's like, wait, 2 days, because if it rained, she could have just been like, it would rain. So then, like, that's when you see the footage of him turning around, and he's like going, and then they go and look at the ravine and all that stuff. So it's like, whatchamacallit, like, they end up finding her, and she's fine, and it's like such a relief, you know, that, like, for like that kind of story, and how this movie was done, that she ends up being alive, and everything is like, literally in the end, everything is fine and all that shit, and it was good. Like, I really enjoyed it, and I like how it was told, because you didn't think it was gonna go in that direction. You really didn't think it was gonna go in that direction. Part of me had a feeling something was up. Well, something was up, but, like, once it was like, oh, this guy killed the girl and all that shit, and like, you know, once it was kind of revealed, like, okay, she was smoking pot with her uncle, kind of stuff, it was like, okay, because you're like, okay, like, oh, these are the things that I felt, okay, are kind of weird, but then once, like, it like, hit that thing, and you're like, well, actually, Deborah Messing, and you're like, what? You know, like I said, I enjoyed it. You know, there was no time when I watched it and I was like, this is dumb, this is bullshit, all that stuff, you know. It was pretty enjoyable. Like, I would say, yeah, go see it in the theater. If not, like, rent it, you know, go see it. It's just, yeah, like, I watched Crazy Rich Asians last week, but, like, before that, I had, like, a slew of movies of, like, it's an action film. Guess what? Things happen. Bang, bang, bang. Fine, suspension of disbelief. But this one thing here, you know, this one, like, again, I didn't have much of that, like, but really, you know, it was definitely a well thought out movie. And then again, how it presented itself in this kind of like found footagey screen capture kind of thing, you know, because there's even a part where, like, it's like the screen capture of his phone, like the Google Maps and all that shit. Like, it's a little different, you know. It's definitely, like, I know probably in many, many years this movie is probably not going to age well, because maybe our technology will, you know, it's like now if I were to rewatch The Net, you know, like how that hasn't aged well. Although I should watch that and do a video on it. But yeah, like, I know in about 20 years time this is going to be very, you know, like dated and like meh. But, you know, I enjoyed it. Oh yeah, so trailers. Wasn't that many trailers. Oh yeah, and I actually forgot to mention. So before the movie started, the director comes on screen and was like, "Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for coming out to see the movie that I put together. Da da da. Actually, before we start on this movie, here's this short I picked to show you guys." Which I got a little annoyed because I was like, I really want to see this movie already. Like, this ain't a fucking Pixar thing where I'm totally fine and knowing that there's gonna be like a short in front of it. Plus, it's like very like not jarring, but it was just like tonal shifts because the fucking short was like isn't that funny? Door slams your face, like that kind of stuff. And then the rest of the actual movie is like the serious shit. And yeah, the whole time I was like, are we done yet? I was like, God, how long is this short? Anyway, so almost started to read my grocery list. That would have been funny. I was like, alright, citronella candles. Boxes. Alright, so the first trailer is Hellfest. Not the concert series that used to happen. I don't know if it still happens. But anyway, Hellfest, it's obviously a horror film, you know, yada yada. It's like a traveling horror thing. I'm just kind of like, it's like the same shit as always, where it's like, we're in a haunted house, or we're in this thing, and like, we know it's supposed to be scary, da-da-da, but then people are like, stop it, stop, that's scary. Oh wait, no, actual killers. So that's what it is. Next is Mortal Engines. I think when I first started typing it, I was like, City of Engines, because I'm thinking of, was it City, the Mortal... whatever that other YA thing, oh god, the YA thing, that was a movie, it became a TV show, I don't know, fucking know. Anyway, so, there's that, you know, it's, I don't know how to feel about it, because it's an interesting idea, and I've never read the book, but I don't know, I don't know, part of me, depending on what else is coming out during that time, I don't know, it might be a rental for me. Anyway, so after that is Overlord, and it's like a World War II movie, and, what's his name, Fitz from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s in it, little puppy, he's in it, and it's like, okay, you know, we're like the Forgotten Crew, you know, the usual kind of like World War II movie, but then it was like, oh, we're alone in this house or whatever, but then it's like the screen goes dark and then there's a title card, it's like from J.J. Abrams, and I immediately was like, aliens but not really aliens, but like experimentation and all that stuff. So it was just like all these like super soldier kind of people, you know, start showing up, and you're like, aliens. But anyway, so there's that. After that is Widows. I spoke about it last time. It's the one with Viola Davis, Michelle Rodriguez, Paperboy from Atlanta is in it. He's in a lot of things lately. Because he was in that Hotel Artemis movie I saw. He was in that, what other fucking, I think it was in some other trailer I saw. Anyway, but he's in a lot of stuff, which is great because he's a really good actor. So yeah, so there's that one, the Widows movie, which I love that, like, Viola Davis's husband in the movie is Liam Neeson. So it's like her being Liam Neeson. Oh, there's another bite? God, I get my lotion, man. So yeah. After that is A Star Is Born, you know, which is funny because it's like, I think the people behind me, I think that was like their first time seeing the trailer. And I don't think they knew that's what Gaga looks like normal. Because when the title card said Lady Gaga, the people behind me were like, oh, what? Oh, huh? And then of course it gets to the part where she starts singing through her nose a little, where she's like, ha, 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 like that. And then she goes into the Gaga stuff, she's like, what? I don't know. That's how she sings. The girl can sing, I'm being an asshole. But I just found it funny that, like, I don't think they realize that's Gaga, and then, well, because she's usually, you know, like, done up, and there she's like, you know, back to her brunette hair, and she's kind of just like, such an ass. I'm such an ass. Anyway, after that is, The Girl in the Spider's Web, you know, the the sequel, remake, reboot of Girl in Dragon Tattoo. Anyway, and then the last trailer is White Boy Rick. I've been seeing a lot of trailers for, like, I was gonna say on the TV. I guess when I'm watching shit on Hulu, you know, it's a whole, like, based on a true story. 15-year-old kid who worked for the FBI and, you know, did drug things. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really care. Wait, is Paperboy in that one too? I think, because part of me is like, no, I think I remember seeing Paperboy in 2 trailers. Anyway. But, anyway. So, yes. Searching. It's a good movie. Trailers are just meh. What the fuck was that? Oh, that's my fan. I was like, the fuck is that noise? It's like someone trying to climb through my window. I was like, I don't know how. But anyway.